Your car's fuel gauge is lying to you, not just a little, but in a way that actively changes your driving habits without you even realizing it. That small needle isn't giving you an honest, linear representation of the fuel left in your tank. By the end of this video, you will understand the hidden engineering secret behind every modern fuel gauge, why it behaves the way it does, and how to truly read your car's remaining range. Most drivers know about the tiny arrow next to the fuel pump icon on their dashboard. This simple indicator, often overlooked, tells you which side of your car the fuel filler cap is located. It was first introduced by Ford in the 1980s, becoming standard across almost all manufacturers by the early 2000s, saving countless moments of confusion at the gas station. But that arrow is just a minor convenience, a distraction from the much bigger secret hiding in plain sight. The real deception isn't about where to fill up. It's about how quickly that needle drops. Have you ever noticed that the first half of your fuel tank seems to last significantly longer than the second half? It feels like the needle barely moves for hundreds of miles, then suddenly plummets towards empty. This isn't your imagination, nor is your car suddenly becoming less fuel efficient. This is a deliberate design choice by automotive engineers, a trick built into the very core of your car's fuel system. But here is the part nobody talks about. Early cars from the 1920s and 30s had simple mechanical gauges, often just a float directly connected to a visible indicator. These were notoriously inaccurate. By the 1950s, electrical resistance gauges became common, using a float arm connected to a variable resistor inside the fuel tank. As the fuel level drops, the float moves, changing the electrical resistance, which then moves the needle on your dashboard. This technology, refined over decades, allowed for much greater precision, but it also opened the door for manipulation. Modern fuel gauges are calibrated to display a non-linear reading. The float arm inside your tank actually moves linearly with the fuel level. However, the electrical signal it sends to your dashboard is intentionally altered. Manufacturers program the gauge to show a slower drop when the tank is full, making it appear as if you are getting better mileage. Once the tank reaches roughly half full, the gauge's programming shifts, causing the needle to drop much faster, reflecting the actual fuel consumption more accurately. And this is where it gets interesting. This isn't about tricking you into buying more fuel, it's about managing driver anxiety. Engineers realized that drivers experience range anxiety more acutely as the fuel level drops. By making the top half of the tank seem to last longer, they provide a psychological buffer, reducing stress during the initial stages of a long drive. It gives you a sense of security, delaying the moment you start worrying about finding the next gas station. This subtle manipulation is designed for your peace of mind. Consider a car with a 15-gallon fuel tank. The first 7.5 gallons might register as lasting for 300 miles on your gauge. But the next 7.5 gallons, which is the same amount of fuel, could show a range of only 150 miles before the empty light illuminates. This disparity is significant. For instance, a 2018 Honda Civic with a 12.4-gallon tank might show the top half lasting for 250 miles, while the bottom half only covers 150 miles. You might think your gauge is broken, but it's not. So, what does this mean for you and your car? Essentially, the top half of your fuel gauge is an optimistic estimate, while the bottom half is a more urgent, realistic indicator. When your needle is above half, you have more time than you think. But once it dips below that midpoint, be aware that the remaining fuel will deplete at a seemingly faster rate. The empty light itself usually means you still have a small reserve, typically 1 to 2 gallons, giving you a final buffer to reach a station. Understanding this non-linear behavior can help you plan your trips better. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security by a slow-dropping full tank. Conversely, don't panic immediately when the needle hits half. Always remember that the final quarter of your tank will disappear quickly. This isn't just a quirk. It's a calculated engineering decision to influence your driving behavior and reduce perceived stress. Knowing this allows you to make more informed decisions about when and where to refuel. The secret of your fuel gauge isn't just a neat fact. It's a prime example of subtle automotive engineering designed to enhance your driving experience. That seemingly simple needle is a sophisticated tool, carefully programmed to manage your perception of range. Now you know the truth behind its behavior. For more unexpected car engineering secrets and insights, make sure to subscribe.